Welcome everybody to Enspire 2021. Good afternoon. Thank you for answering our opening question. For those of you that may still be typing, I have enjoyed the last couple days, everyone answering the question in a variety of different ways, but I think the one answer that seems to be the most common and the most oftenly put in the chat, and the one most agreed on is the people. Today we talked a little bit about energy, but it's definitely the people, and I think that the people bring the energy. So for those of you joining Enspire 2021 for the first time today, welcome to the conference. For those of you who are here on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, or any combination of any of those days, welcome back for more great professional development sessions. I am not Eileen Frankel. I'm Nicole Canitano from Young Entrepreneur Institute. Eileen is spending some time in our national session for Global Entrepreneur Week this afternoon. So I will be trying to fill her very big shoes as your host today. As you know, our broad theme for this year's Enspire is improving student learning, and we are on day 5 of amazing keynote speakers, workshops, and resources for you on that topic. Most of you joined today via the Whova web portal or the mobile app. This site and app contain the complete Enspire schedule, the speaker list, and it also has the Zoom links for each session. So you want to keep that on hand. At Young Entrepreneur Institute, we believe that every child should understand and experience entrepreneurship. We know that the skills gained in these entrepreneurial lessons and activities provide great benefits to students in any work or endeavor they choose later in life. At YEI, one of the ways we support K-12 entrepreneurship education is by providing professional development for educators, and the Enspire Conference is our signature program in that. We also consult with schools and organizations. We manage a number of youth entrepreneurship programs. We collaborate with organizations in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, both here in Ohio and across the United States. So although I really am happy to be here with you all today, I would love to be meeting you all in person. However, everyone's safety and health is always foremost in our minds, so we decided it was best to host Enspire virtually for hopefully just one more year. And we do look very forward to being with you all again in person in 2022. If there's one silver lining in not being in person, I think it makes us appreciate all those little moments and opportunities to really connect and engage with each other when we are again. Here are some quick reminders about how to get the most out of today's conference sessions. And I know we're all experts in Zoom by now, so I will go over these quickly. We do ask that you keep your microphone muted so that you and the others can hear our main speakers. If at all possible, please do turn your camera on. We love to see the reactions on the faces of our attendees. Use the Zoom chat for questions and comments as you wish. And also check the Whova app that I mentioned before for resource downloads, links, and a list of the attendees. So today we have 2 spotlight sessions planned. Both of them will be presented by me. The first session will be all about the Pitch Challenge Plus Home Field Advantage program. And during the second session, which will follow immediately after the first, we'll begin focusing on a brand new product that we're piloting this year called It's a Real Problem, using real business problems in your entrepreneurship class. Following those spotlight sessions, our keynote today is an encore of Friday's session with AJ Giuliani and John Spencer called Empower: What Happens When Students Own Their Learning. This session is incredibly entertaining and it's filled with valuable information about your teaching practice. I think that you'll laugh a little, and it also provides you with a lot of thought-provoking content. We'll then finish off this session with an announcement about and a tutorial of our new online marketplace, Yippee. So if you haven't already created your account at Yippee, or if you have and you feel like you need a little more handholding, we are here for you today. Before we jump into today's sessions, we are going to start off with something we've done new this year at Enspire, our Mindset Minute with Venture Lab's Scott Mann. The word mindset in this case refers to the entrepreneurial mindset, of course. And while Scott couldn't be here in person, again, to lead us in this because he is doing something for the national session, he did take time to record today's Mindset Minute, which we will watch now.
And a former classroom and out-of-school time educator. Hey everyone, Scott Mann here, back for day 5 of the Enspire Conference with the Mindset Minute. I'm the Director of Education with Venture Lab, a fellow lifelong learner, and a former classroom and out-of-school time educator. Can't be with you live today as YEI and Venture Lab are workshopping with the amazing CFMOT 50-state after-school network in our role as technical assistants in youth entrepreneurship. So I'm going to share with you an instructional video I made a while back for Venture Lab's online programs that really illustrates today's entrepreneurial mindset, opportunity seeking. Hey everybody, this is Scott from Venture Lab, and today we're going to take an observation walk to identify problems and opportunities. Entrepreneurs have a specific way of observing the world. They don't just look around and see problems, they see opportunities to innovate and create value for others. For example, most people would walk into this room, notice that it's falling apart, just keep on moving. The entrepreneur notices these things too, but then sees these problems as opportunities. So it's a problem that there's a hole in the ceiling, but that's an opportunity to have a skylight. It is super dirty, but that's just an opportunity to maybe clean it up and make some extra money. Well, the floor is broken too, and that can be an opportunity to reclaim the wood and maybe turn it into a piece of furniture or cool art that I could sell. And don't forget, observation also depends on you. You make inferences based on your experiences and your background. So what you see and I see looking at that picture may be different. For example, an artist might see that space as a studio that they can invite people in to teach lessons. A gamer might see one of the walls as a huge computer screen and invite people to come play new video games there. So bring your experience and your interests and your passions as you observe the world around you. Now it's your turn. Get out there, walk around. What do you see? What are your senses telling you? And as you observe, you'll begin to see more and more opportunities to innovate, create, and help others. And I guarantee the more that you practice this, the more ideas are going to come to you. So remember, say it with me, I am courageous. I am observant and see opportunities, and I am an entrepreneur. Yes, you are. Educators, administrators, don't just look around and see problems. They see opportunities to innovate and create value for others. Everyone has this capacity. It's just a matter of looking through the mindset lens of opportunity seeking. And for all of you out there working in education, in school, out of school, frontline, administration, policymakers, you have this choice. Do you look around and see problems or opportunities? When that child, again, interrupts you while you're talking, problem or opportunity to envision the future captain of the debate team? Back to working with youth online, problem or opportunity to improve your digital fluency and find a new way to connect with kids? Your program loses part of its funding. Okay, yeah, that's a big problem. It's also an opportunity to find efficiencies to do more with less. So you notice I'm not advocating that we ignore problems, not at all. Problem solving is crucial and definitely part of the entrepreneurial mindset and process. What looking through the mindset lens of opportunity seeking does in this context of confronting and solving problems is it refocuses your thoughts, and you start to ask, how can I look at this differently? What can I do with what I have? What can I do differently? And what can we make that will improve this situation? Where can I innovate? There's an old adage, when one door closes, another door opens. An educator, looking through an opportunity-seeking lens, watches that door creak, close, and slam, and thinks, all right, more wall space to hang anchor charts and student work. So, as you move about your day, look for opportunities to solve problems and create value for others because, hey, you are an entrepreneur. Have a great rest of your session. I'll see you tomorrow.
I love those. I need to get a pair of glasses and keep them aside just to do what he did with those stickers. It really makes a statement. So I am taking off my I'm taking off my host hat and I'm putting my presenter hat on. And I am really excited to share with you today 2 products available to you on Yippee during our spotlight sessions today. The first is called Pitch Challenge Plus Home Field Advantage. And before I tell you what Pitch Challenge Plus is, I should probably tell you what Pitch Challenge is. So next slide, please. As most of you, oh, I'm sorry. Did you? Yep, we're good. Sorry, Scott, or sorry, Seth, my fault. Before telling you what Pitch Challenge Plus is, I should tell you what Pitch Challenge is. As most of you already know, YEI hosts a regional competition each year for educators K through 12 in Northeast Ohio. We've also created a toolkit to help teachers prepare their students for the contest. Many of you have used this toolkit. It consists of 5 easy turnkey lessons and warm-up activities, as well as supplemental resources for those wanting to take a deeper dive into each of those lessons. The last 2 lessons in the toolkit focus on writing a pitch, turning that pitch into a presentation, and then practicing and eventually recording that pitch. That recording is entered into the contest in one of 3 age groups, K through 4, 5 through 8, and 9 through 12. And then from there, 15 students from each age group move on to become finalists, and 5 of those 15 are ultimately selected as winners in their division. Pitch Challenge is a fun and exciting way to bring entrepreneurial education to your classroom, as many of you have experienced and would agree with. So now we can go to what Pitch Challenge Plus is, now that we've refreshed our minds about what Pitch Challenge is. So Pitch Challenge Plus Home Field Advantage is a new product available on Yippee that allows you to host your own pitch challenge at your school, like YEI does in Northeast Ohio. For those of you familiar with our former mini grants, this is the replacement for that program. So support from YEI comes in 2 ways through Home Field Advantage. The first is in the form of financial support for prizes. We have chosen to give $10 Amazon gift cards to be used on individual prizes for the strongest pitches, however you decide to break it up, or to purchase supplies or treats, goodie bags, to help you host a class event, viewing party, or celebration for all who participated in Pitch Challenge, even if they didn't go on to be voted in the top. Or even better yet, a combination of all those things. So the great thing is it's entirely up to you. The second piece of Home Field Advantage, it comes in the form of consulting. And we are allowing for our educators this year to choose 3 unique touch points of these consulting services, however they fit your needs. These will be provided from a YEI team member, most likely myself, but maybe other team members as well. These can, you will be able to choose from a planning session, an in-person or virtual workshop on any of the 5 lessons in the toolkit. You can, if you think you have a handle on the workshops and you kind of know how you want to implement this, and you don't need a planning session, but you're really stumped about who you want to engage for your judges in your local competition, we can help you with that. We can help you brainstorm people in your community, in your district, or we have a whole group of volunteers called Friends of YEI that love to jump into these presentations and these finals and help rate the presenters. We can also bring YEI team members in to do guest judging. And finally, we can jump on or jump into your classroom and help you record pitches. This is especially helpful if you have younger students. Most of the time, the high school students do a pretty good job and are pretty tech savvy. Not that the young students aren't, but so we can assist across the board there. And then finally, many of you have taken advantage in the past of us creating the slides for the ceremony and the final awards presentation, and then actually showing up as sort of a guest to execute that. So why should you spend your Yippee points on Home Field Advantage? Well, as great as it is to participate in Young Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge, it's even better to host your own, where you, your students and colleagues, and your administration will get to experience Pitch Challenge on a more personal and local level. Because when you bring Pitch Challenge to your home field, you are able to do many, many things that don't happen when you're just a part of the regional competition. Things like raising school spirit, elevating the visibility of what you do for your kids when it comes to entrepreneurial education, sharing that opportunity with colleagues, engaging community members, such as local business owners and members of the Chamber of Commerce and different organizations that actually might be able to provide additional resources and connectivity, and maybe even real life selling opportunities if you contact the local farmers market organizer, or a PTA event at your school. Anyway, all of these community members, when they're engaged, become aware of what it is you're doing, and they very well can provide the connections and the follow-up support for these kids who do decide to turn their pitch into an actual business. You can recognize and celebrate all your students for their risk-taking and entrepreneurial achievements, and not just the winners of the pitch challenge, because as we know, winning really, when it comes to teaching entrepreneurism, has less to do with prizes and more to do with those kids developing those skills and using them their whole lives. And finally, your students will still be able to enter and be eligible to win in the Northeast Ohio contest. So who can take advantage of Home Field Advantage? Home Field Advantage, because it's an extension of our regional competition in Northeast Ohio and is funded generously by the Burton D. Morgan Foundation, it is available to only educators in Northeast Ohio. So if you are one of those educators, how do you go about getting involved in bringing Home Field Advantage to your school? Well, one word, Yippee. And this is going to be a common theme. If you haven't picked up on it already, Yippee is going to be your one-stop shop for all your entrepreneur needs. And Home Field Advantage is one of them. So when you go to Yippee, you need to find the Young Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge storefront. And Home Field Advantage is one of 3 products available. You will need to acquire 250 points to purchase this, this product. During the process of redeeming your points, you'll be asked to fill out a form that will be sent directly to me, and I will contact you to begin the process of planning your Home Field Advantage. And I'd like to end the spotlight session with a VA success story. See what I did there? If you don't, you will in a moment. So I am going to have Seth play you all a video. And if you could please turn your attention to the video, and then I will give you a little bit of a story about where this video led.
Do you have loved ones that suffer from memory loss? It can be sad and heartbreaking, but my business, Inspired by My Grandma, can help with this. Hi, my name is Ava Lucchese, and my Fuzzies and Fidgets blankets will help family members remember family and friends and cure their restless fingers. There are different textures, beads, zippers, and more for their fidgety fingers to find. Along with the fidgets, there are also flaps where you can insert pictures of family and friends to help loved ones spark a memory. These come in all different patterns, sizes, and designs. If you would like to order an already made one, go to www.fuzzies/fidgets.org or call 310-545-89678 if you would like to request a specific pattern or design that you would like.
Okay, so the student that you just watched in that video is Ava Lucchesi. She is currently a 7th grader in the Avon Lake City School District. Last year, as a 6th grader, Ava's business idea and that pitch made her one of the 5 winners in her age group in the Young Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge that I spoke about earlier. But winning the Young Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge wasn't the end of Ava's entrepreneurial journey. It was actually just the beginning. Because Ava's teacher participated in Home Field Advantage, Ava was also one of 2 grand prize winners in Lorain County. She got a ton of prizes and gift cards and a pretty cool trophy, but that still wasn't the end of her journey. Kim Kaufman, a 5th and 6th grade STEM teacher at Midview East, who some of you may know and work with, was able to engage a really impressive and influential group of community stakeholders to sit on the judging panel for this local competition. Well, one of those judges who watched Ava's pitch just happened to be the director of the Small Business Development Center at Lorain County Community College. And after watching Ava's pitch, she reached out to Ava's teacher, who connected her to Ava and her parents and offered support in the form of prototyping, providing materials, and producing her blankets. Another judge who was also impressed by Ava's idea serves as president of the Lorain County Chamber of Commerce, and he offered Ava marketing and advertising support for her blankets. So you can see that real and meaningful connections can and do happen when you bring Pitch Challenge to your home field. If you have questions about Pitch Challenge plus Home Field Advantage, I see a little bit of activity in the chat. Please keep them at the ready, as we will be taking time after the second session to answer questions about both Home Field Advantage and our next spotlight session, It's a Real Problem. So It's a Real Problem is a brand new product that we're piloting this year, and we're very excited about it, and we think you will be too. As educators, and especially as educators who have prioritized attending Enspire, you understand the value of bringing entrepreneurial education to your students. You realize that whether they go on to become an entrepreneur or not, building that mindset will set them up for success in life, no matter their path. And you know this is important at the end of the day because of the many skills it teaches that are necessary to life. So I've created a Venn diagram that shows some of the skills that are acquired in entrepreneurial education. And on the other side, we have project-based learning, real problem solving. If any of you saw the keynote on Saturday by Marcia Tate, it was called 20 Instructional Strategies that Engage the Brain and Build an Entrepreneurial Mindset. You may remember that strategy number 16 is project and problem-based learning. Research tells us that problem-based learning and putting students in situations where they have to come up with solutions for real-world problems allows them to build on several important skills as well. As you can see, some of these skills and experiences overlap between the entrepreneurial education and the problem-based learning, and some are unique between the two disciplines. What I'd like to share with you today is a program that lives in the intersection of the two. And this is what we are calling It's a Real Problem. It's a Real Problem requires students to bring all these skills into practice around solving a problem for an actual business owner in their own community. Okay, so that's a little bit of what the program entails. But I'm going to tell you about some more features of it. So really the overview is that it is going to bring project-based learning that students are using to solve a problem on a deeper level. And we're going to bring them together with local business owners who are experiencing a challenge around a variety of different parts of their business. They'll come together and share the common goal of creating and hopefully implementing possible solutions for that challenge. So It's a Real Problem is educator coached and student driven. It allows the educator to choose the business problem that aligns with their curriculum or their class that they're teaching, and also the knowledge that they have about what their students are capable of, what they've already experienced and learned. It allows the educator some creativity in how they implement the program and how they structure it. In terms of, will the students be working in teams? Will they be working independently? How much research, how, are they going to do? How deep of a dive are they going to take into this? It will require students to use design thinking, inquiry, research, and critical thinking to problem solve. So these terms are used over and over, obviously, just referring right back to the mindset that we know is so important. It may lend itself to other student activities, depending on, like I said, how deep of a dive you want to go into this project with your kids, and how willing the business owner is to spend, more time connecting with the students. It may lead to things like conducting interviews and focus groups, creating and sending out surveys, and even prototype testing. So you can see that the possibilities really are limitless and quite encouraging. Students will also be able to create solutions and present their recommendations live. So there's that public speaking piece to the business owner. And lastly, there is a possibility for site visits and follow-up opportunities. So why? Well, we've already talked about the importance of project-based learning and real-world problem solving in businesses. So I thought I would just share this quote from Ben, good old Ben Franklin, who I think summarizes it better than I ever could. And I will allow you a moment to read that. All right, so who is able to take advantage of It's a Real Problem? Although the business problems will vary across different areas of business, like marketing, supply chain, human resources, and they will also vary in degree of difficulty, we have reserved this project for our educators teaching high school age students. We thought a lot about this, and we really landed in a place where we think that high school students will have a deeper understanding of the concepts and more experience to be better equipped with the tools and the background knowledge to successfully create and present solutions for these business owners. So how do you get involved in It's a Real Problem? This is becoming a pretty common theme, isn't it? You're going to go to Yippee and find the Young Entrepreneur Institute storefront. It's a Real Problem is one of the 250 point projects available there. After you redeem your points, I will contact you and we will set up a consultation session between you and me, where we will determine which business owner and the related problem is the best fit for you and your students. Of course, this will be dependent on your curriculum and your objectives and the type of business problems that have been made available to us by our business partners. So if any of you have any questions about either of these spotlight session topics, or I should say products, Home Field Advantage, that kind of lives inside the pitch challenge bubble, or It's a Real Problem, feel free to take some time now to either put your questions in the chat. I think that's actually the only way we're going to do that. We're not going to unmute. There's like 55 of us on here, so that's probably not a good idea. So yeah, feel free to put questions about either of the products in the chat, and I will take a look at those. If there are no questions, which I'll wait a minute. If there aren't any questions, then we'll just keep on moving right along.